integration of the princely states. The first is avoided balkanization. Avoided balkanization, that is balkanization of India. What is balkanization is disintegration. Disintegration of a country is called balkanization. Why it's called balkanization is I have to take you to world history. There is a Balkan country. Have you come across Balkan country? Yes. That Yugoslavia, that all the Balkan countries. Severe disintegration of such a Balkan countries. That's why, for example, Yugoslavia, Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, Herzegovina, likewise disintegrated. So such a disintegration of a country called Yugoslavia, since a Balkan country, is called balkanization. And this is a keyword. This is a keyword. It will be helpful for so many essay types as well as for understanding a question also. That's first thing, we avoided balkanization. Otherwise, August 15, 1947 seems to be useless. Simply getting independence from the British is just this area. This is British area. This is British area. This is British. This is British. But not the remaining thing. For example, if I wish to go to Delhi from Madras, I can't go at one stage like this. I have to go like this, like a snake. Then I have to reach to Delhi because I have to cross various. Otherwise, what I have to do? I have to get at least 10 visa from different country to reach Delhi. These things are completely avoided. Understood? So balkanization was highly avoided. Otherwise, hard-won victory would have become fruitless. First thing. Second is we discussed whether it's a small or big. Whether it's a small or big, the princely states lost territories. Am I right? Princely states lost territory. Even though if we people lost a ground of land or even 1 square meter of land, we would ask compensation from the government. But they people lost square kilometers. Just imagine, Hyderabad is equal to Germany size, 600 square kilometer, 500 square kilometer. They lost the great land of them. Then definitely what shall be given? Compensation. Second significant is compensation was given to princely states. That is monetary compensation. It's a right sentence. Monetary compensation was given to the princely states every year. Thus, every year monetary compensation was given. Yes, that is for the loss of territory. For the loss of territory, that is called privy pos. It's a very famous word. You might have studied in public administration or in polity also. That's called privy pos, underline. So what is privy pos? It's a privy. Privy means royal. Whenever you come across the word privy, is the royal. For example, privy council, you might have studied in polity. What is privy council is king's court. King's council is called privy council. So here privy pos. Pos means amount. Here this one. And the privy pos, the monetary compensation given to the princely state for loss of territory every year. Because at one amount you can't give the lump sum because of great amount. It's a second thing. Right? And the third is, listen. On August 15, 1947, we got the British India. What is the portion of the British India is 65%. Am I right? Right. Later, in 2 years, we got the 35%. What we have to do? The 65% and 35%, how they are merged, how they are amalgamated, how they are clubbed. That's what next impact. Next impact is reorganization of the Indian states or territory started. Reorganization of the Indian states or territory started. Actually, the third significance is the next subtopic. So with this, we successfully completed the first challenge of integration of the princely states. So integration of the princely state is over. Because of the integration of princely state, one of the impact happened. What is impact? Reorganization. So open the next topic. Reorganization of the Indian state or reorganization of Indian territory. Reorganization of Indian territory. What is reorganization? Simply 65% plus 35%. Note it down. That is merger or amalgamation or whatever the word you can. How the 65% and 35%. That is the reorganization. Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss of this British Indian Territory princely state. Listen. What was the demands for the reorganization is India is known for cultural diversity. Various languages there, various culture is there. We people are, listen, first culturally and socially oriented, clubbed, then only politically unified. Keep it in mind. But other countries are not, no, any country in the world, people are first culturally, socially oriented, then such a people wanted to live in a group that is called country. Am I right? Then only it is called country or nation. You have come across political science? Political science, what is nation? What is nation is in a territory. For example, if this is India or this is America, in a territory, defined political boundary, one culture, one common group of people shall settle. Then only it is called what? Nation. Now you say whether India is a nation? No, definitely not. Right? It's that nation building activities going on. More or less, if political science concept, nation in making. We are united only by means of what? Politically. That's why yesterday I discussed integration. We are united only by means of what? Politically. These are all core word, yeah. I simply said it. You should not simply take it. Right? If you process it, this is a wide perspective to be discussed. Understood? So this is what happened. But then what is the thing is, we are the linguistic level, cultural level. So demand, what is the on what basis reorganization of state is linguistic basis. So Indian people demanded on linguistic basis. Demanded on linguistic basis, especially from the southern state. At the time, if you see, the only southern state and the biggest state is the blue color. Could you see blue color? That's a Madras state. So keep it in mind, Madras state is big, but Tamil Nadu is small. Understood? It may be a satire or it may be a political reality. Madras state is big, but Tamil Nadu is so small. Yes. Here, this is what. Madras state is from Chilka Lake up to Kanyakumari. From Madras to Mangalore, including the Kannada speaking area also. So here, linguistic speaking demand is there, especially where linguistic demand was first raised is the Telugu speaking area. Here only the first demand. Telugu speaking area of Madras region. Normally, if you see, best example is Hollywood. Kollywood. That is Tamil Nadu related. Right. Kollywood, if you see, both the Tamil actor as well as the Telugu actors are dominating. Have sir NTR Rangarao. Rangarao is very famous actor. Savitri was also from Telugu area. So many. Then Prasad, G.V. Prasad or some Prasad Rao would come. Even Prasad studio or some studio is there in Chennai. Very big studio. Many people are there. Right. But after Andhra is created only, Kollywood, they divided, that led to the Tollywood. That is Hyderabad oriented. That's also a very big industry. Normally, three cinema industry in India. One is Bollywood, next is Kollywood, next is the Tollywood. Only the three. What? And what would? Mollywood. Kerala is there, but Spending wise, economy wise, somewhat less when compared to here. That's why I'm saying. Even here, sandalwood also there. If you come to Mysore, have you come across sandalwood? I hope so. Not sandalwood. I hope right. Right. This is what is there. Just to come back to this Telugu speaking area of Madras state, greater demand. Not only there, every throughout India the demand was there. For example, if you see the Bombay province, for example, here Bombay, this area is clubbed. Bombay state was created from that Gujarati speaking and Marathi speaking area here. If you come here, Delhi region, Punjab, you see that undivided after division this much. Punjab is this much big because this much of Punjab part and parcel of Pakistan, this much of Punjab. But even in Punjab, you see here is the Delhi. Even in the Punjab, Hindi speaking and Punjabi speaking. So difference of demands were there, but the greater demands from which area is the southern state. So that led to establishment of a linguistic based commission. This is a revision of polity. What is a linguistic based is SK Dar Commission. Have you come across? Not touched this unit. Okay, okay. Straight away to preamble, then unit 1, article 1, article 2, like this. Yes, okay. Then I have to discuss this. SK Dar Commission. So first linguistic based commission was SK Dar Commission, but it rejected. It rejected what one of the SK Dar Commission is? It rejected one language, one state basis. No, one state, one language basis. It rejected this. Anyhow, one language, one state, whatever it is, you put it. Rather than what the things it suggested is administrative basis. Yeah, that would have been right. But what would happen is it would have led to the another problem. At least linguistic based people are settled now. At least their regional pride is satisfied. Am I right? Regional pride is satisfied. Now within that, at least development is going on. Thus, it's a first. But SK Dar Commission refused. Second, so when refused, again greater demand. That led to the second commission, JVP Commission. Next is the JVP Commission. Second, JVP Commission. It also rejected. That is JVP is Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Pattabhi Sitaramaya. The short form of JVP Commission. Yes. So the 3-member commission, it also rejected, cleverly rejected it. That led to agitation. At last, what happened is agitation like that happened. Not only agitation, one person from here, that is the Telugu speaking area, one person went for fasting. And he went for fasting unto death. And at last he died. Who was the person is Potti Sri Ramulu. Potti Sri Ramulu went for fasting and at last died. After the 60 plus days of fasting, he died here. After his death, what happened is you write just the name alone, fasting unto death. Right. After that, what happened is there was a great agitation, uncontrolled agitation in the Telugu speaking area. That forced the government to create the first linguistic based state in 1953. So in India, first linguistic based state was created in 1953 itself. Yes, what is the state is Andhra, not Andhra Pradesh. Andhra was created. In 1953, Andhra was created. Why Andhra was created is simple thing. From which state Andhra was created is Madras state. Only Madras state is this. Carefully listen. These are all alone Telugu speaking area. What happened is only these areas alone carved out. This area was not given at that time. Hyderabad state was not given from here. So with this only state was created called what? Andhra. Then definitely Hyderabad is not capital. Am I right? Then what was the first capital of Andhra was with Kurnool. Kurnool as capital. Now let me tell entire history of Andhra Pradesh, present day Andhra Pradesh, we are going to discuss. Okay, so this is what happened. Understood? Now, once Telugu speaking state is created, then greater demand. Again and again, greater demand. That forced the government to set up of a commission. That commission is called State Reorganization Commission. So after that greater demand, that led to setting up of State Reorganization Commission. State Reorganization Commission. 3-member commission, 1954. Actually, 3-member commission. One is Fazil Ali. Fazil Ali. Second is K.M. Panikar. K.M. Panikar. And the third is H.N. Kunsru. H.N. Kunsru. These are all very basic for prelims. Yeah. These are all ABCD of understanding polity. Okay. Who was the head of the commission was Fazil Ali. Head of the commission was Fazil Ali. That's why if you take the book, some people who discuss as like a Fazil Ali commission. Actually, there was no Fazil Ali commission. Understood? Yes. So this commission is called State Reorganization Commission. It gave recommendations. Am I right? Based on the recommendations only, 1956 State Reorganization Act was passed. It's a very famous act. State Reorganization Act 1956. A great change was made in our Indian political map after this State Reorganization Act. Yes, to implement the State Reorganization Act only, 7th Constitutional Amendment Act was passed. Thus, you have to Recommendation Act, Recommendation Amendment Act. Just look into that. These are all the finishing touch of the polity. If polity is over, almost over, you can enjoy this. For example, what led to emergency declared in 1975? What led to 42nd Amendment Act? What led to 44th Amendment Act? Everything will be discussed here. Polity almost over. Judiciary over. Okay. Emergency 44. Yes, then definitely you can enjoy. If you know little bit of polity, you can have a very clear cut. Okay, because of this one. You will have very clear cut idea. Next week, if continue is there, I will complete. I need another, today second class. I need another 3 class or maximum 4 class. Next week, let's have continuously and try to complete it. Okay. So this is what the things puzzlely based on that 7th Constitutional Amendment Act. Right. Based on that recommendation only, 14 states and 6 union territories. States and 6 union territories were created. But as of now, how many states are there? 28 states. It means that with 1956 itself, people demands were not over. Every year or once in 2 years or 3 years, no. Every second in some part of India, people have been demanding. Am I right? Listen. Now we have 28 states. But in 1956, just 14 states. But 2020, for easy purpose, right, it's 28 states. Right, it means that what are the original 14 states? From the original 14 states, once in 2 years or once in 3 years, new states are created. Just for idea, let me tell all the 14 states. You just imagine. Unleash your imagination. Okay, because of that 1956, no, this date. Okay, because of that 2000, this state was created likewise. Okay, what are all the original 14 states? Just try to write like a number plate language. Otherwise, it's up to you if you write at fast. What are all the 14 states? Is Madras state. from the south we will discuss. Kerala. Mysuru state, third. Fourth, Andhra Pradesh. So listen, now it is called what? Andhra Pradesh. How Andhra became Andhra Pradesh, sir? Yes. So near the Andhra Pradesh, you write Andhra plus Telangana. Now what happened? Now again Telangana left, but only thing Andhra Pradesh is a small Andhra Pradesh. Date back to 1953. Just imagine. Entire Andhra is over here. Hereafter, if you are appointed as an officer in Andhra region, you will have a better idea when it was formed, how, who is Patti Sriramulu, everything you know. Then from the day one itself, you would do administrative measures. For that only you are studying. For that you are studying this. Okay, let me tell. Let me explain the best example of state reorganization. What is state reorganization? As we discussed is what is state reorganization is how 65% British Indian territory and the 35% revamped. Like, listen, the best example, all the 14 states, all the 14 states, let me discuss. In this, if you see here, already which was created? Andhra was created. This is Andhra. In this, how Andhra Pradesh is, this is British territory. This is princely state. From the Hyderabad, the Telugu speaking area was given to Andhra and it became what? Andhra Pradesh. So listen, already from Madras state, Andhra Pradesh. Andhra, now Andhra Pradesh. Now listen. Here, this is British, am I right? Travancore is the princely state. Here is the Malayalam. And here also Malayalam in the Madras. So Malayalam speaking area of the Madras state is clubbed with what? Travancore. Now it's become what? Kerala. So how 35 and is the 50, 65 is missed. And next, already Madras state. Here Mysore is Kannada speaking area. Here along with this Mysore, Kannada speaking area of the Madras area is given and the creation of Mysore state, which was later renamed as Karnataka. That is different. And the remaining small part is called what one? Madras state, which was later renamed as what? Tamil Nadu. How 65, 35 merge over. Okay, this is a very best example of the southern states. Now come back to the remaining. Next state, Bombay state. No Maharashtra, nothing. Bombay state. Next, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, J&K. How many states? 13. And if you come to northeast, only one state. What is the only state? Assam. There is no sister state, there is no brother state. Only one is Assam. Altogether, how many states? 14 states were created in which year? 1965. 56. Am I right? But with that, the trend is not over. Every year, every second, people had been demanding even after 1956. Am I right? Now draw this timeline from this end of your line paper to that end. This much big. Just 2 to 3 examples, not that much of things. Just 2 to 3 examples we will discuss. Then classwork to you. Today I will give more classwork. In the classwork itself, first you have to write it, type it, then I have to discuss of this. That's why I said it shall be interaction. Right, come back. What happened, sir, is in 1960, in 1960, from Bombay state, so two states were born from the Bombay in 1960. One is Marathi speaking, Gujarati speaking. Marathi, Gujarati speaking. So listen, Bombay state is Marathi speaking. What happened is Gujarati speaking is given and called Gujarat, and remaining part of Bombay state is renamed as Maharashtra. So it does not mean that from Bombay state, new state altogether, not three state. Keep it in mind. From Bombay state, Gujarat part is Gujarati party, that is a Gujarat. Remaining Bombay state is just renamed as what? Maharashtra. This is what happened. Even in that also, many would say Madras to whom? Whether to Telugu people or to Tamil people. Fight happened. Likewise, Bombay to whom? The same thing happened. Whether to Marathi speaking people or Gujarati speaking people, the same fight happened here also. Belgaum issue, exactly. Uttara Karnataka, that part is there, exactly. Next, come to 1966. In the timeline, 1966, from Punjab, Hindi speaking, Punjabi speaking. Hindi speaking, Punjabi speaking. Actually, from the big Punjab, what happened is, from here, from big Punjab, the Hindi speaking area is removed, carved out. And Hindi speaking is called Haryana. From here, this part, in and around Delhi. In and around Delhi, the Hindi speaking area is carved out, called Haryana. Remaining the is called Punjab. That's all. There is no different name. Understood? Yes. So this is what. Likewise, once in 2 years or once in 3 years, new states are being created based on what criteria here is language. Below, above that you write language based. Language based. But what happens is such a language tendency is over by 2000. A big demarcation. Watershed said this 2000. Don't want to by heart the area. I have to run the year. I have to go through, sail through chronologically. That's why I'm saying. So it's very easy for you to understand. Only for that I am saying it. Taken? Yes. In 2000, the trend is over. Sir, how do you say 2000 trend is over? Yes. Exacta in 2000, 3 new states are created. Put a very big line. And just below that you write 3 new states were created. What are all the 3 new states? In that you write from Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. Do you know? Write it. 3 new states. Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. Bihar, from Bihar, Jharkhand. From Bihar, Jharkhand. Third, from Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. From Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Okay, sir. What is the trend, sir? Is why do you consider as a watershed? Is you see that Bihar, Jharkhand, same, both are Hindi speaking area. Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Pakka Hindi speaking area. Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Pakka Hindi speaking area. But earlier based on language, but now same language but partitioned. What is the reason? Is people after 2000 is not simply asking based on language, they're asking for social condition and what condition? Economic. So here you write language base. Till 2000 language is the base. After 2000 socio and economic. Taken? Socio-economic basis. And why not? The finest example is 2004 here, 14. 2014, what was created? Telangana. Both are Telugu speaking. Am I right? Both are Telugu speaking area, but for socio-economic basis, it was created. This is what the unit, actual unit in the polity is this. Okay, so I started, my part is PIC, but I am discussing now is one unit in Lakshmikant is over. Likewise, you have to go through, today itself go through Lakshmikant, what are all the other state. For example, UPSC question may be asked, Nagaland, Mizoram, Goa, next is Himachal Pradesh. Arrange the following state based on the formation of creation. Maybe ask. It's there in Lakshmikant, unit 3 or unit 4, it's there. So today itself, if you study over, then you study PIC book. Okay, so what I am saying, immediately you do it. Otherwise, if you forget nearby, you write it. After class is over, you study, it's over. Okay, now listen, now I come to you. We are in 2020. I'm right now, homework, classwork is in 2020. Even now also in so many places, people are demanding separate statehood. Am I right? So open the topic now. Right, separate statehood demand. So in which are all the area people have been asking separate statehood demand. For example, if you are saying a separate statehood mean from which state, already existing state, they are asking separate statehood. Your time start now, 1 minute. Write it, then we will discuss. Those who are in online, just type it, then we will discuss. Yes, you're almost right. Bodoland, Greater Nagalim, Kamatapur, Gurkha land. Yes, Vidarbha. Yes, exactly right. But Greater Naga country is anti-nationalism. I am asking only the state. Swipriya. Yes. Greater Naga. Yes, they are demanding is some, but some group asking separate country also. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yes, almost you are right. Swipriya, right. Vamsi. Kamatpura. Kamatpura from which state? It's new, even new to me also. Kamatpura from which state? Okay, Gurkha land is right, Archana. From Assam, they're asking. I have come across only Kamarupa. Kamarupa alone I have come across it, but very new for me. Okay, let us discuss one by one. First is Gurkha land. Gurkha land from West Bengal. One. Second is Greater Nagaland, by merging so many small territories along with Nagaland. Second. Yes. Next. Vidarbha. Next to right. Vidarbha from Maharashtra. It's a best example. Maharashtra is a number one in economy, but only the western part of Maharashtra is developing when leaving the region in and around Nagpur. Vidarbha, exactly. Then Uttar Pradesh at least to be divided into 3 to 4. Harid Pradesh, then Purvanchal. Uttar Pradesh definitely be divided, split. Not only for socio-economic condition, even for political condition also it shall be divided, because undue advantage in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It's sending nearly 80 plus MPs in Lok Sabha, at least 1/7 of the entire MPs. That's why if you see the Prime Minister Office of India, many Prime Ministers are invariably from Uttar Pradesh, because whoever the state political parties controlling of Uttar Pradesh automatically have the chance to become the national party, automatica ruling party. So at least whether political social purpose or economic purpose, it shall be divided for political purpose. Exactly right. So Uttar Pradesh shall be divided into 3 or 4: Harid Pradesh, Purvanchal, and Bundelkhand, Awadh land. Bundelkhand, Awadh land. Taken. Next. Any other? Nothing. Congo. Exactly. Even they are in Tamil Nadu. If you need Kongu Nadu, from Tamil Nadu. Yes. Kongu Nadu from Tamil Nadu. Likewise, they're asking. Then, what's another other thing? Other is Uttar Karnataka. Even people are demanding Uttar Karnataka also. Uttar Karnataka. Then even Saurashtra region. Thus, there are so many demands. They are demanding it for socio-economic condition. Okay, this is what you have written. Now, question. Already UPSC question is this. Right. If I asked a state based on linguistic basis, you criticize me. You are a regionalist. You are dividing India. You are an anti-nationalist, even like this. But I am asking not based on language, based on what? Socio-economic. It's a very good thing. Why not? That's what the question. Open the question. Is it good choice, or is it wise condition, or wise attempt, or wise condition to divide, no, to create new states, based on socio-economic condition? Question mark. Yes. You have to give points to both yes as well as no. Divide it into two. Yes. So one side is yes, broadly divide. Yes, we have to. Another is definitely no. So creation of new state based on socio-economic condition is good. Creation of new state based on socio-economic condition is not good. So your time start now. You first write for yes. Those who are online, in chat box type it. Then you type it for no. Time start now. Now I come to you, right? Yes, all the points are right, almost right. If it is yes, one of the one minute. One is when the resources are more, state can be created. Else, no need to. That we will discuss at last. Okay, first yes is inclusive development. Yes, what is the thing is why new states are created is because if in a state one area is developed by leaving the another region, some districts are ahead, some districts are backward. So if such a districts are created by means of separate state, definitely that area will be developed. Exactly. So first thing is inclusive development of that backward region. Exactly. It's a first thing. So it means that you can reduce the inequality of India by concentrating a state, by creating new state. Exactly. Inclusive growth, but it's a very wider connotation. You have to split it and you have to write it like various points. It's a first thing. Okay, one. Second is if a state is small, easy to administer. Second thing, since I'm discussing yes point, that's why I'm saying. If I come to no point, I can say that it does not mean the state is big. It's difficult to administer. That I'm not saying like this. Why I'm saying in this sense is if the state is small, you can reach the government policy at doorstep. Possible because smaller the state, easy to administer. It's like a Singapore model. Though Singapore was created in 1970s, within 30 years it became one of the richest state because it is the city, it is the country. It's like what is the Singapore is not more than the size of present day Madras. Do you know? Population is less than Madras. So who is the Madras mayor? Madras mayor is equal to Singapore president. Singapore president is equal to Madras mayor. I'm right. Singapore Prime Minister is equal to Madras Chennai Municipal Corporation Commissioner. Am I right? Daily they can round the city, round the country, not city. That's the second thing. Third, yes is right. Adequate representation of LS and RS. Yes, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. How adequate representation means? For example, if Telangana is created, after that, before that, there is no separate state for Telangana. Only the Telangana region would represent as an Andhra MP. But now they represent as a Telangana MP. They would demand much for their state. So we need. Why not? Even you can get a separate grant from Finance Commission. Because if a new state is created, Finance Commission would give separate grant. Am I right? Definitely would give separate grant. So these are all. And the second, fifth point, fifth or sixth point, if a new state is created, that resources can be used only for the state. So better utilization of resources for the welfare of that region. I'm right. Otherwise, if the state is very big, right, resources are here. It can be exploited, can be utilized of the people of here. Telangana concept started because of this. Because many criticize our resources are being used by people of coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema region. That is the biggest thing. Understood? Yes, almost right. Almost what will be there? Regional inequality will be reduced. This is yes point. Okay, now come to no. I hope. Yes, socio-economic inequality will be reduced. Almost I discussed all the points of yes. Balance. Now come to no points. No, sir, it is wrong. Why it is wrong? Is it will go for further disintegration. Disintegration. Don't write disintegration. Division. Yes, further division. Again, what would happen? By 2200, again 560 plus state will come. Again, we need a Vallabhai Patel like person. Am I right? Let me tell. Just example. Earlier, I supported favorable to Telangana. Now I am opposing Telangana. Okay, a creation of Telangana. Why I am saying is You knew very well. Telangana is created. Why Telangana is actually created is in the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. The entire structure of Andhra Pradesh is this much big. This much big. In that, altogether, originally 23 district Andhra Pradesh, unified Andhra Pradesh. What is the demand of Telangana is among the 23, the 10 districts are backward. This is what the demand, first of all. Rangareddy, Sangareddy, Adilabad, Karimnagar, then Warangal, likewise. These districts are considered to be the backward. So we wanted separate state. Thus, out of 23, 10 are removed and Telangana. Okay. Now Telangana is created. After 100 years, you consider this hypothesis. After 100 years, among the 10 districts, 7 districts of Telangana developed, leaving how many districts? 3 districts. Then they would ask what one? Separate state. After that, among the 3 districts, 2 districts developed, leaving 1 district. Then again they would ask what? Separate state. At last, what would happen? Each district becomes state. Then who is the chief minister? Collector of a district. Who is the collector? Chief minister of a state. I'm saying. So you have to meet the genuine demand. But if you create a like this, it will go on to demarcate just because of economic condition, socio-economic condition. This is the first point. Second major concern of India is interstate disputes. Already 28 states, it's difficult. Toughest issue for central government and Supreme Court, am I right? To solve the internal issues. Now, if you created new states again and again, interstate dispute would come. Especially in southern state, interstate water dispute would come. Water is the matter. Likewise, it would come. Understood? It's a second thing, biggest issue. And the third thing is, at least listen, if you create a regional linguistic based interlinguistic problem would come. Okay, that is manageable. Kannadiga, Tamila, Teluguva, Marathia, likewise would come. But if you are creating socio-economic mean, intra-linguistic problem would come. For example, Telangana Telugu people or Andhra Telugu people, who are great? Let's look into that. Am I right? You are creating conflict within the cultural group. So earlier between cultural group, okay, at least we can't. But here intra-linguistic problem would come. Yes, these are all. But plus or minus, it is greatest plus for civil service aspirant. I'm right. In the yes points you added, it's a greatest thing. Yes, sir. Create so many state. Why so many state? So many new IAS post, IPS post would be created. So long live KCR. Am I right? Just I'm saying. Why in the unified Andhra Pradesh mean only one chief secretary, only one additional secretary. But now separate Telangana means everything to be created new. So civil service aspirant and IAS, IPS officers always welcome creation of what? New states. No, don't write. You can write like a satire. We also welcome, sir. Then only new state, you need so many new posts that led to so many vacancies in UPSC. Am I right? Yes. Vacancies are there. So many vacancies are there. This is what. Now then what is the conclusion? If you say yes, states can be created, you are favorable to Telangana and you are hurting the people of Andhra Pradesh. If you say no, you are hurting the people of Telangana and you are praising the people of what? Andhra Pradesh. Then what is the conclusion? Yes, come out of the table and write. What is the conclusion you can write it? Yes, no doubt at all. New states shall be created based on socio-economic condition, but it shall be created at last measure. It shall be created at what one? Last measure. Last measure means last resort. Don't go for hasty nasty measure. Let's take the best example of Maharashtra. For example, Vidarbha, that is a Nagpur. This area, Maharashtra is like, you just imagine, it's like this. Vidarbha area, this part. Whether with the headquarters Nagpur, a new state shall be developed, created or not? That is the question. Vidarbha state, 2021. Now you take it. No need to create immediately. You do one thing. Both Maharashtra government as well as the central government, let's take 20 years time period. Both shall concentrate on that. Even after 20 years, 2040. 2040 you have to look. Even at 2040, the same backwardness is there, then definitely you shall create what? New state. There is no second opinion. Understood? Yes, likewise. And some state, definitely, Uttar Pradesh like state, definitely you shall create it. Because it's very big to manage. Definitely it shall be created. But what happened? No political consensus. Why? Whoever the ruling party of Uttar Pradesh, fortunately, unfortunately, ruling party of India, how would they partition? How would they divide it? Beyond that, Warangal, okay, like, okay, naked, yes. But another thing is, now only the state is created, nascent state, very small. It will take percolation, will trickle down would have happened. Because whenever new state, one more negative point, I forgot it. A new state is created, you need huge capital for infrastructure. That I forget. Am I right? Especially you have to. Telangana people, not at all issue because Hyderabad is given. Lampa Hyderabad is given. But problem to which people? Andhra. Especially for creating new capital city. So what I would say is, we need huge capital for capital. Understood what I am trying to say? You have to ask S12 Chandrababu Naidu ji, otherwise YSR ji, right, for how much of amount they want it. It's not easy job. Amaravati master plan, Japanese help or some others help. Likewise, next change of the government, change of the project. Imagine. Right, that's all. This is the way a framework, how we touched. It seems to be polity, but historically we discussed. That's why these two units are biggest unit. Third, fourth units are somewhat small. That's all. I hope you understood about this. How holistically we have discussed. Next, third. Today I try to complete Nehruji. If Nehruji is over, almost will be over. Today we will complete it. Next week onwards, exclusive. Lal Bahadur Shastri, everything you would have never discussed things. Only in PIC. So next topic is refugee crisis or refugee issue. You simply write refugee issue. Or other thing is rehabilitation of refugees. Refugee issue or rehabilitation of refugees. Yes. Nearly 3 to 4 topics under each try to discuss. Before discussing about the refugee issue, you shall first of all know who is refugee. Am I right? Then only refugee crisis can be discussed. Right. Consider myself. Okay, consider myself. Let me tell myself as a hypothesis, whether you say I am a refugee or not. Yes. Listen. Listen. I am from Tamil Nadu. Because of job, I went to Bihar. Am I a refugee? Yes or no? No. I am not a refugee. Am I right? No. Yes. I am an immigrant. Immigrant is also wrong. Even you can't say immigrant. Archana. Yes? Wrong. No. Yes. Immigrant is also wrong. Oh, both are wrong. Yeah. Both immigrant, both are wrong actually. Okay. So it's a first thing. Okay. Second thing I keep here. So it's very easy to interact with you. Second thing, migrant. Exactly. Vinisha is right. Second thing is, I am from Tamil Nadu. Due to political violence or some other instability, I forced to go to Bihar. Am I a refugee? Yes or no? Jawahar, no. Vamsi, no. Another person, 20666057, no. No, I am not refugee because I am internally displaced person. They cannot be considered as what? Refugee. So second also I am a just migrant. Now come to third. Third grade. I am from Tamil Nadu. Because of job, I went to USA. Am I a refugee? Am I a refugee? No. No. Okay. Yeah, right. And now listen, I am from Tamil Nadu. Due to some political instability, I forced to go to USA. Am I a refugee? Yes. I'm right? Exactly. In this category, I am yes. So it got that right. Yes. Because of that, what happened? Now I am a refugee. It means that who are refugee means two conditions shall be fulfilled. Am I right? To be a refugee, two conditions. One thing is non-voluntarily movements, not voluntarily. Non-voluntary means by means of force. One, I would have mean by means of force. It may be natural force or it may be man-made force. Second requirement is I should have crossed at least one international border. At least one international border. So first, without knowing that only many are saying refugees. So listen, I said four category. Am I right? I said four category. In the first, all the four category, I am a migrant. Whether moved forcibly or voluntarily, I am the migrant. But among the four, only the fourth migrant alone, I became what? Refugee. So if it is a migrant is the very big thing means in that a small is called what? Refugee. Am I right? Migrant is a wide connotation, small is the refugee. Understand this core topic, then you can by heart the anything. By hearting is very easy, much easy. Without knowing that itself, many would discuss refugee crisis like this. First, you say who is refugee? Okay, so first. Second is since independence, how many times India witnessed refugee? Again, come to you. Write it. Since independence, how many times India witnessed refugee crisis or refugee issue? Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Two, yes, correct. Over. So listen, two times is less, very less. Archana partition, 1971, Sri Lankan Samal, Rohingya, very good. One more thing. Archana is right. Add only one thing with Archana. Add one Archana with Archana's. Burma, the Rohingya. Indo-Bangladesh were already said in 1971. One thing is missing, that is the Tibetan one. So altogether, how many times is five times? One is at the time of partition, exactly. At the time of partition. After partition is Tibetan issues because Tibet is 1959. Second, actually, it's a chronological order. Chronologically, Tibet is second. Third is 1971 during Bangladesh Liberation War. Third. Fourth is, yes, 1970s, 80s onwards, whenever war with LTTE and Sri Lankan government, not just 1 year, at random, the people, Tamil people from Sri Lanka to here, 1970s onwards. And next is Myanmar. Actually, Myanmar was 2 times. One is 1970 military coup. Even if you see one Tamil movie, Dhanush movie, Anehan. There is a movie called Anehan. In the first 10 minutes from how Myanmar they were forced to move, 1970s. And now Rohingya crisis. So how many times? This is where your broad approach. But now what I am going to discuss? Yes. So here we are going to discuss refugee crisis at the time of partition. That alone I am going to discuss. Remaining might have been discussed in current affairs related thing. 1971 we will discuss here. Remaining is current affairs. Pakka current affairs. So in the name of PIC, we will discuss everything: internal security, external security, or bilateral, multilateral, whatever the things, lateral entry. Just I am saying everything will be discussed. Yes. So refugee at the time of partition. Listen, since partition took place in 2 sides, am I right? Partition took place in 2 sides, then refugee also took place in 2 sides. What is the refugee in 2 sides? One is west side, here also, as well as in which side? East side also. Both in western sector as well as eastern sector, or western frontier, eastern frontier also, refugee took place. Okay. Before elaborating of the things, you have split into 2. I have to explain what happened in west and what happened. Is internet connection stable? Type. Online student, stable. Okay. Come back. Before discussing west and east, a brief idea is what is common issues in both the sides. Common issues, right? So you can write cutting across the division. Number of people came to India was more when compared to number of people went India or left India. It's a common. Number of people came to India was far more than number of people left in both the side. For example, here 50 lakh people left India means 2 crore people came to India. Just I'm saying, not exact figure. Then what kind of issue would come in both the sides? Yes, one thing is increase in population. Am I right? In the after partition India, one is sudden increase the population. Both the sector I am discussing in a common way. Next, I have to discuss a different aspect in both west and east. It's a fast. Second thing is a resource pressure on resources. Pressure on resources. Am I right? Because simple, 50 lakh people left India mean they would have left their home, they would have left their land, everything. When they went to Pakistan, they would find surplus land, but because 2 crore people left, right, they would find very big home. Even 2 house is possible for single per family. But the 2 crore people when came, they have to be accommodated within the 50 lakh people. So resource pressure is the biggest issue in both the side. And another thing is they have to fight with whom? Local. Am I right? Because I am big Jamindar, yeah. I am Crorepati in Pakistan. But due to partition, I lost everything. Just imagine. I lost even no house, no land. Then what I would do? I try to scrap or I try to entered into the nearby people's house land, then fight with locals. Practical. I am discussing ground realities. Understood? Very pathetic condition. Once upon a time, hero in Pakistan due to refugee zero. You might have seen the Tamil movie. Again, I have to invoke. It's very famous. Shah Rukh Khan also acted. Heram. If you have seen Heram, Kamal Hassan, Shah Rukh Khan, another person very famous. His name I forget. He was a Sindhi actually. His third friend was the Sindhi. In that song, both the three, all the three would come. Very rich visual. But after 2 hours of the movie, that due to partition, the Sindhi was reduced to a beggar. If you have seen the movie, Kamal Hassan and other people would be in a car waiting for railway crossing. At the time, one beggar would ask, but the driver refused to give. At the time, the beggar scolded in English very well. How a beggar knew of English very well? Just to open it, his friend. At the time only you would come to know of the problem of refugee. Understood? It's not ordinary, morally, complete, psychologically lost. So with this, what happened in West and what happened in East, a brief idea. So now you come to, if you don't have, means again you write West and East. Yes, West and East. In the West, who were the most affected people? Hindus, Muslims, Sikh people? Sikh people. So you write most affected were the Sikh people. Even some people would say whether India was partitioned. No, Punjab was partitioned because it was the Punjab which was actually partitioned. Am I right? Whether Hindu land is partitioned or Muslim land is partitioned. No, Sikh land is partitioned. Likewise, I am saying. If any picture is there, 1 minute. Have you bought this book? Okay. Try to purchase this. It's a very good book. Even if you have soft copy, try to purchase it. Right. It's a very good, you can enjoy it while simultaneously of reading it. Even 2019 question from this, 2 questions from this book, because this is only standard book. Okay, no picture. Come back to this. Sikh people were the most affected. They lost their political headquarters. Lahore actually political headquarters. They lost the religious gurudwaras. Do you know? Gurudwaras, their holy place. Kartarpur, Nankana Sahib, the birthplace of Guru Nanak, Kartarpur, where he spent last days and died. Am I right? But when compared to that, what the things they lost is land. So great loss is the economic loss. Great economic loss, yeah. Because here Punjab is partition. Actual Punjab is in Pakistan side. Am I right? Because Punjab means land of how many river? Five river. Panch means five. Punjab means land of 5 rivers. 7 rivers are there. Okay. Now you say whether in India we do have Indus is not at all flowing towards India. Jhelum is not at all flowing. Only the 3 rivers are going through India. Present day Punjab. Now you say it's a Punjab. No, present day Punjab is Teen Jab. Because how many rivers? Just 3 rivers are there. Just I'm joking. Understood? Just 3 rivers. So great loss. Okay, almost they lost. When they came to India, resource problem. So to solve the resource, so you write it, they lost land and India resource issue. To solve the land distribution, An ICS officer was appointed. An ICS officer was appointed. His name is Tarlok Singh. Tarlok Singh. He followed two policies. Tarlok Singh. He followed two policies. What are the two policies? One is the graded cut. One is the graded cut. Another is the standard acre system. Standard acre system. Okay. What is graded cut? So keep it in mind. Graded cut means under the graded cut you write. Higher the land or yes, higher the land you loss in Pakistan. Higher the land or one loss or you loss, okay? One loss in Pakistan would get lesser the land in India. So it means that higher the land you lost in Pakistan, lesser the land. Highest the land if you lost mean you will get not lower, lowest land. Listen, let me tell, graded cut. So your land you lost in Pakistan is higher means you will get very lower. Let me tell. Yes, idea. Listen. A peasant A lost 10 acres in Pakistan. Whether 10 acre can be given? No. Only available is he was given with 5 acre. Okay, he was happy. Now another peasant lost 100 acre. Is it possible to give 50 acre? No, it's impossible. You consider only 25 acre just for our thing. So you see that 10 acre person 5 acre. Just he lost what one 5 acre. But 100 acre person lost what one 75 acre. So higher the land you lost, you will get lower the land. And one person got 1000 acre. As per this formula 500, not possible. Even as per this formula 250 acre, not possible. Am I right? He was given not more than 125 acre. You see that. He lost 5 acre. He lost 75 acre. This person lost 875 acre. It means that higher the land you lost, you will get what one? Lower the land. Lower or lowest? Let me tell you a real story. Then I will give break. Yes, one widow, right? Her name is Kamala Devi or Kamala Rani. Her husband had 12,500 acre in Pakistan. He was a jamindar. She was the single largest loser because of partition. She got in India only 750 acre. என்ன நடக்கும்? We people na heart broken heart we would have died. நம்ம நெஞ்சு வடிச்சு செத்தே போயிருவோம். If we people are there, not heart attack, heart bust. Just imagine 12,500 and just 750. What to do? Because of partition effect, many people lost life, many people lost economy. There was no hope. What is the hope is there? When on the way due to partition some political issue happened, killed your near and dear means, then what is the purpose of living? So refugee, partition, southern state people would never feel. We are Jalia, we are sitting here and there is no major issues in the south, especially to say Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, that area. Am I right? This is called what one? Graded cut. Okay, I hope you understood. Now come to the standard acre. I never use the word actual acre. Listen, 10 acre here is given, replaced with how many acre? 5 acre. Right. Now I come to the next thing is, so a peasant was given 10 acre and he was replaced with 5 acre. Now another peasant, he also lost 10 acre and he as per formula he shall also be given what? 5 acre, because that's the right thing. But where the problem is, for this peasant 5 acre is given in the fertile region near Ravi river. But this person 5 acre is given in Rajasthan desert. One and the same. Sir, 5 acre is same, sir. Actual acre size is same, but not what wise. Standard is not standard. One is more fertile, another is desert. Would you accept it if this is given? It means that not actual acre system, it should be based on protection. So you write it. So based on protection, not based on just the size. When you, it will be helpful after becoming IAS officer. When land acquisition is happening, it will be helpful. When you wish to replace some people from, because of dam construction of new cities, if you want to replace the people, some people want the land, it will be helpful. So it means that you have to ask this peasant, okay, in the 5 acre, how much do you produce? 1000 quintals, sir. Okay, then you have to come to this fellow. In the 5 acre, how much do you produce? Sir, just 500 quintal. Then actually he shall be given 5 cross 2. How many acre? 10 acre. So this 10 acre in non-fertile area is equal to 5 acre in fertile region. This is called which system? Standard acre system. So you write it, take break, then we will discuss. Yes. I hope I am visible to all. I hope so. Yes, yes. I hope so because one student mentioned that. Yes, the board is black. That's why I had to start it. Yes. 1 minute. 1 minute. Not visible. Yes, yes. Now. Yes, now. Okay.
You are in the Zoom meeting now. This meeting is being recorded.
Yes. 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 Next, this is what this is highly appreciated because almost all the people settle. This is one thing in the West. Another thing in the West is not only the people from Punjab. Yes, another thing is many Sindhi people. Next, right? Many Sindhi people settled in Bombay region. Why not? Many people settled in Delhi also from here. Likewise, many people settled in Bombay region also. Bombay region also. Why I'm saying is there they faced very pathetic, even the slum-like situations because forced to live in a very small portion. So this is what the west side. So many in Delhi, many in Bombay region, there the local problem that thing started. This is what in west. But one thing in west is good thing is the refugee crisis was started earlier in the west side. You're right. The refugee crisis was started earlier and was solved earlier. Was started earlier and solved earlier. So why started earlier in west of the refugee crisis is India was partition based on religion. Am I right? But in west, religion was not only the reason. One of the thing is language also, especially what language is Urdu. Am I right? So in west, both language as well as religion. So many Urdu speaking Muslims ready to move. Okay, hereafter it's not possible, especially when Pakistan declared as a Urdu speaking Muslim country, many left. They knew very well, started to leave. This is in west sector. So refugee crisis was much earlier. Many crossed both the borders, and by 1950s, 99% of the refugee crisis was solved. Thereafter, no crossing of the people or no new refugees. Understood? One. And one more reason why refugee crisis is almost solved and stable is here in western sector border is porous border. Am I right? Highly porous border. Note it. Sorry. Concrete border or solid border. This is the right word. The west side is border is solid. Unlike except in Kashmir alone somewhat rough terrain. Apart from that, here is very solid border because solid mean easy to easy to manage it. That's what. Even in Rajasthan area, it's impossible to cross to come to India. Am I right? So in this area, because that's a very plain. If some people are coming, you can easily watch not binocular, even by means of normal naked eye itself you can see. Only possible thing is like a Salman Khan that girl Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Only tunneling is alone possible. Have you seen the movie? Bajrangi Bhaijaan, right? Tunneling. Through the tunneling, they try to go to Pakistan. That alone is possible. This is the trend in western sector. Now come to east. East is different. What is the east is? When Bangla part is created, what is the east is? Refugee crisis was started later. Refugee crisis was started later and solved latest. Latest means very recent. It was solved latest. Why? Why it was started later and solved latest means unlike in West, religion as well as language very demarcated. But here, religion may be the Islam, but language is what? One, Bengali language. So language, the unifying force. Language, the unifying force. So that's why from West Bengal, many people refuse to go, many Muslims refuse to go to East Pakistan. No, why should I go? From East Pakistan, many Hindus refuse to come. Why should I go? That's why even after partition of the country, keep it in mind, many people refuse to go, reluctant to go. But what forced mean? Communalism. So here only one could wait communal riots. Why communal riot was, you even in West you can't see that much of communal riot. But in East you can see that much of communal riot because once after, at the time of partition, many refused to go. Some unscrupulous Hindu here attacked against the Muslims. Here unscrupulous Muslims attacked against the Hindus. No, your country is created, go there. That's why even at the time of partition, people didn't. Even after partition also, people started to move across it. But here it's not like that. Many people much earlier decided to leave on both the sides. Understood? So this is what here happened. Okay. So refugee crisis was late, but solved what? Latest. Latest. Why solved, sir? Is here border is solid, but here is border is porous. Porous border. Topic is refugee, but I entered into internal security. There is no such a division here. Since staff cannot discuss all the matter, that's why some are considered as what? Internal security. Some are considered as like this. Otherwise, history is everywhere. Everything is history. Am I right? So if you study everything, that is a history. If you study history of history, do you know? History is study of everything. If you study history of history, then it is called historiography. Understood? So how history evolved? Then history of history is called historiography. So why? Border is porous. Why here border is porous? Again, you have to go to question. Why the border is porous here is because of undulating terrain. Am I right? Terrain is highly undulating. Do you know undulating means rough terrain? Another is rivers issue. Rivers would course of drainage would course change. These are all the biggest issue, especially the Meghalaya, this area. Since it's a rough border, its border management is difficult. So overnight they would escape and come to India as illegal refugees. Some issues happened. So keep it in mind. I use the word not migrant. What use the word? Refugee. For example, so many time instability in East Pakistan. Am I right? If small instability, people would escape and come to here. That's the biggest issue. That too, as a family, entire family would come, would overnight cross the border. Last night, if you see, that is a vacant land. But tomorrow, next evening, if you see, there will be a small hut and would settle. And one plus point is they knew what language? Bengali. Okay, you consider, okay, they are the Bengali people. But East Pakistan. Understood? So this is what the biggest issue. Now listen, one core internal concept, internal security taken. Yeah, in that, listen, so many refugees but illegally settled, to identify them, to capture them, to send them back to their country, armed force was given special power. That is called what? AFSPA. Armed force was given special power. That's called AFSPA. It's a very good act. Act is good, yeah. But due to some Javans, it is bad. So act is good. Act due to some actor, it is become bad. But ultimately, what is there? Because of one or two actor, we always criticize what? Act. You can use this in interview. Why the criticism here and there? Like some people would criticize. Religion is waste. Some become atheists. No, religion is good. Problem lies not in religion. Some religious followers. Because of unscrupulous religious follower, they are exploiting the people for their political upliftment, for their economic purpose. They are utilizing the people. So you have to remove such a people. You shall not remove the religion. Am I right? Likewise, now I come to you. Right. So act is good, but not some actor. Religion is good, but not some religious follower. Likewise, engineering is excellent, but not some engineers. Understood? Without knowing that only, all would criticize engineering. Open, you put like this. Engineering bad, na? How is it possible to interact with you? How is it possible? Yeah, you are getting iPhone, so on, so on. For that alone, you need engineering. But other side, you will criticize engineering. Now you say engineering is great or not good. Engineers are not good. Hereafter, don't say engineering is waste. Engineers are waste. Not all the engineers. Those who engineer not studied good are waste. I normally would say, no, engineering college, why engineering is waste? never say like this hereafter. Engineering, if no engineering, na, just imagine. Is it possible to have like this? Is it possible to have like this communication engineering without that online? Possible to have AC? Possible to have mechanical engineering? Ever great? Civil engineering? So don't say hereafter like this, okay? Am I right or wrong? Yes. Oh, hereafter, never criticize. Hereafter, some people, Machi, engineering is waste. Don't say like this. So you take this to throughout the world. For crores of youngsters, which is the only life is engineering. Why so many engineering college? So many jobs are there. So engineering college. What's the thing here? Yes or no? And engineering is the only field which give job at a time to lakhs of students. So 10 lakh students are studying, it's giving at least 1 lakh 50,000. Itself is great. You just imagine the probability, right? 10 lakh students are coming out. 10 lakh students are coming out. But job availability is what? 150,000. You just, okay, almost 1 lakh. 1 lakh is the job opportunity. Definitely 1 lakh job opportunity would be there. Okay, what is the percentage is, if among 10, 1% would get what? Job. Am I right? Even if you go to core engineering, 1% would. I am saying not other, core engineering. Electrical engineering, only in electrical. At least. Okay. Among the 10, definitely one will get the job. Now come to other services. Even civil services and other. How many people would write for UPSC? 5 lakh. Even in your field, 5 lakh. How many seats are there? Even consider 1,000. Highest is. Highest is. Okay. One post is fighting for how many people? 5,000. Even you take other thing. So be careful. Especially many are engineers. I hope so. Okay. You put this calculation. Okay. Come back to this. ASPA was made. It's the first thing. Okay. Not only now, ASPA was to control. Next, what is the issue, sir? Here is enclave issue. Have you come across another thing? Yes. Why so many illegal refugees? Enclave issue. Who solved the enclave issue is Modi ji. Modi ji recently solved 2015 or 16, 15 solved. Till the date problems. That's why refugee issue was late and solved latest. This is what West and East. I hope. Here also remaining same thing. Resource mobilization, resource issues. Here also same method is used. Here also many people. Next point you write it in East. Many people settled in Calcutta. That like slum like situation. Everything in East. NRC. Next stabilization. Refugees over. Next you have to weed out some of the refugees. Now we stopped filtration. Infiltration is stopped. Next you have to do internal work. This will be helpful to study NRC related topic. That's all. With this, third topic is over. So we will discuss everything. And one more topic today I definitely I have to discuss is whatever we discussed is the political integration. Am I right? Now I am entering into social integration. We are in first unit. Yeah. What is the first unit? Jawaharlal Nehru. So Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi. That alone would take time. Morarji Desai. Once I completed first 4 unit, last 5 unit I will complete even in 1 class itself or 2 class itself. Shall we start? Social integration. So for that you have to go to the first page. In that I have given integration. The oval shape is given. First class. Yesterday I have given. Is there? Yes. Integration of many kind. Political, economic, social and what? Cultural integration. So you have to take that one. So whenever first you have to discuss common, then you come to the particular. Because here question is social integration. But you should not simply write social integration alone. After independence, India strive to get integration. What are all the integration? Political, social, economic, culture. In that, just one line, in the political, due to the effort of Vallabhbhai Patel and other, integration of princely state is over. In means of reservation, economic is going on. We don't want cultural integration. Now, social integration. Then you leave the other, next subtopic, social integration. So, one paragraph is like common point of integration. Next, you have to come to what? Social. So, if you discuss like this, then only you will know. It's like a third chapter. Third chapter, if you see, my core is refugee crisis at the time of partition. But I didn't start with partition refugee. I start who is refugee, how many times India witnessed refugee. Then I come. Then only examiner will know. Okay, he not only answered one particular, he know broad, then answered particular. Keep it in mind. Okay, come back. So here social integration, even if you see the first class that one, social integration itself, integration of women, integration of SC, ST, downtrodden, and so on. So in this solution, integration, I come to social integration of many. In that I am going to discuss in this chapter only integration of tribal area. So how I am scrutinizing and how I come to my topic. Understood? Yes. For that, who are tribes? I'm not going to discuss since I already discussed in modern Indian history itself. Who are tribes? During British period, because of some issues, tribal revolt took place. I hope you do remember. Due to money lenders, some Christian missionaries, Jamindaris, Birsa. Due to that, so many tribal revolt, Munda revolt, Santal revolts. So we had learned we knew a bitter lesson regarding their tribes. When outsiders entered, they consider my culture is disturbed, attack. When the land is confiscated, attacked. So British, so tribal integration, you write, during British period, that is pre-independence period, many tribal revolt happens. Many tribal revolt happened. Yes, why such a tribal revolt? What are all the many tribal revolt? Within bracket you write, refer modern India class notes. Modern India class notes, okay? If you put like this, then it's very easy. Now, we had a lesson, positive lesson or negative lesson. Now, after independence, how we are going to do it? This is pure sociology topic. Initially, sociology topic, then polity. I conclude with internal security. Actually, this topic is the best example of cross-subject analysis. Next half an hour, we will discuss. You carefully scrutinize this unit. You will get, okay, for mains answer writing mean, topic is PIC. But I have invoked all the subject. I am going to invoke all the subject. Okay, come back to this. Yes, after independence, two measures were put forward before Nehru. For tribal development. Yes. One is split into two. What are the two? Under the two, split into two. One is isolation policy. If you are sociology, definitely you will know of this. Another is assimilation. Yes, one is isolation, another is assimilation policy. Okay, what is isolation is leave them as such, because already they are disturbed. So don't disturb further. They knew how to promote by themselves. So one group of people said, leave them as such. Another group said that, no sir, it is wrong. Integrate into mainstream India as quick as possible. Integrate into mainstream India as quick as possible. So this is assimilation policy. So one is leave them as such, another is integrate them as quick as possible. But what Nehru did it, rejected both. Yes, Nehru rejected both. Then what is his policy? Yes, listen. Why did he reject isolation? We have to discuss. Why did he reject isolation? Is already due to their great backwardness and isolation, at the time of independence, this much of gap. Here is 1947 India, here is 1947 tribal area. Okay, if you left Assam means by 1200 or 1200, rest of India would be like this. Tribal area would be like this. Hereafter, it's impossible. Then it's not at all possible because it is not tribal area. It would become museum. They are not human. They would have become specimen. Am I right? Then what would happen? Tribal tourism, ugly tribal tourism like that would have happened. Even a decade before, decade before, Andaman Nicobar tribal sentinels likewise. Some unscrupulous tourists gathered the people in the name of taking you into tribal area and ran some money and exposing the tribal to the rest of the world. Not good. Okay, that's why no, isolation is not, because they have to be improved. That's why he left what policy? Isolation principle. So if followed isolation principle means great gap would come. Second is assimilation. If you go for assimilation as quick as possible means loss of culture. Am I right? That is not at all good. Loss of culture, loss of language would happen if you go for immediate assimilation. One point. Next point is inferiority complex. What would come is immediate inferiority complex would come. Understood? So these two things happen. For example, I am a boy born and brought up city, consider that. Okay, wearing jean, t-shirt, nothing is not at all a matter for me. But if I am a boy in tribal area, if immediately I was exposed to the culture and if I used to, in so many English movie you might have seen, one boy would have been born and brought up, or girl would have born and brought up in forest, and immediately she is exposed to the modern civilization means, should have, one movie I have seen, I forget. One girl or boy would be completely brought up by the animals. That boy was or girl was brought up, movie, I forget that movie. It's a Zarawa or Dora. It's like a Mowgli movie, like that. Yeah, Tarzan. Okay, exactly. Tarzan is right. Exactly right. Yeah, Jungle Book old. Now it is a Tarzan. Exactly, Archana, correct. Tarzan movie, you look into that. It's a superb movie. So listen, when I was born, I am an animal. Do you know? If I am brought up by a human being, that's why I am now human being. Simple. Now Saranamurti is there. When I was born, if I am given to a monkey or a tiger means, I would be brought up like what? Tiger. Even I don't know how to walk by means of two hand leg. I would do like this. Same thing Tarzan. A superb movie. Watch it. Right? Come back. Come back to this. Then what is the Nehru's policy? So you write. Then Nehru's policy. Yes, Sivapriya, Vanamagan, exactly. Tamil movie is there. Even, yeah. much a time I would like to watch the movie, but forget. Right. What is that? Nehru's policy is they have to be developed within double quote. You write that they have to be developed gradually, gradually. That too by themselves. That too by themselves, and continue the point. If not possible, with the help of outsider, but such a outsider shall understand their cultures. Cultures means values. Values. Otherwise, problem would come. Am I right? As far as possible by themselves. In polity, could you link it with any article or schedule? Any idea? Any idea? Online? 338 338 language la Archana. Exactly. Vamsi. Venisha. Vamsa. Venisha is right. Schedule 5, Schedule 6. Exactly. I'm ready. If you see Schedule 6, over Schedule 5, Schedule 6. Schedule 6, Schedule 5, if you see Tribal Autonomous Council, not taken. Oh, if not over me, I have to put on hold because one prerequisite of taking PIC is bilateral should have been completed, international organization should have been completed, and polity should have been completed. How many classes are over? Over. Polity. Okay. So Schedule 5, Schedule 6, exacta. Correct. Okay. Then you have to put on hold. Let's see how much things you are able to understand. Stateless. 10. Okay. Now come back. Come back to this. This is what Nehru. That's what even today we are following it. This is the theoretical. Okay. How it's a practical is you write it. Come out of the quotation. You write. This policy has been followed since independence. This policy has been followed. So it means that policies are measurements are followed. Yes. So policy or measurement, how the policies or measurements are mean, two kind of measurements. So since independence, we are taking measures. So keep it in. Policy means measure. Measures for promoting ST people. Such a measures, I'm right, you have written na? Such a measures are of two kinds, split into two. 2018, 19, 15 mark question. Yeah. This is exact, this is what 15 mark question. One is constitutional measure, another is non-constitutional measure. Don't confuse with unconstitutional measure, right? So non-constitutional measures. Now it's class work to you. I will give 2 minutes time. First, make a note of constitutional measure. Next, make a note of non-constitutional measure and type. Those who are in online. Time start now. Okay, first we will discuss of constitutional measure. Simple, yeah. What is constitutional measure mean? Constitution, any of the articles or any of the schedule would have mentioned about the constitution. That's all. Mentioned about the tribal welfare. So then what's the thing? Reservation. Article 15, 16, right? Likewise, reservation. So reservation in where? Education, note it down. Education, employment, and election. Triple E. In all the triple E, the reservation. So it's a pure constitutional measure. One, because some article says it's a first. Okay. Second, so you have to run the entire polity from 1 to article 400. You have to run, then only constitutional. Next, what say 19? If you come to 19, freedom of movement is there, but reasonable restrictions. Though it's responsible to all the area, freedom of movement with reasonable restriction. That's a inner line permit. Have you come across inner line permit? It's the best example. Yeah, I'm simultaneously watching your in chat box also. Okay, so it's a one. Next thing is DPSP. If you see DPSP 46 or 45 is there. 46, you see that DPSP article 46. Just to go through, I forgot the exact article explanatory part. What is triple E is education, employment, election. That's a triple E. 46 says. Over. Next thing, already you typed it. There is a separate. Sorry, there's a separate thing. Is Schedule 5, Schedule 6. Schedule 5 and Schedule 6. I'm right. Under that only tribal autonomous council, everything would come. Once you have mentioned Schedule 5, Schedule 6, no need to explain about again tribal autonomous commission, so on, so on, so. And the next thing is National Commission for ST. Exactly. Gunal mentioned about it. Correct. National Commission for ST. I'm right. And one more thing is discretionary power of governor. Governor over president. Okay. Governor. Discretionary power. Yeah, I already mentioned. Kishore mentioned that. SC areas are directly ruled. ST areas, not SC area, ST area. So Kishore, it's not SC area, ST area alone. Am I right? ST areas are ruled by governor. That's what discretionary power. No need to get advice from Council of Minister headed by Chief Minister. For example, if in an ST area, whether central law is applicable or state law is applicable, fully applicable or partially applicable, fully to be stopped or partially to be solved, only discretion up to governor. No need to get advice headed by Chief Minister. Exactly. So nearly 6 to 7 are over. Am I right? One. Now next come to non-constitutional measure. Already Archana typed all exactly. No, Ministry of Tribal Affairs is the constitutional measure because minister is a constitutional post. One more constitutional measure you write, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. The constitutional measure. Okay. Now come to non-constitutional measure. Almost Archana, you is right, except a few things. So non-constitutional, other than constitution, schemes, whatever it's taken, all are non-constitutional measures. One is right, Forest Rights Act. Exactly, Archana, right. Forest Rights Act. Another is TriFed. Have you come across? There is separate market selling facilities for the tribal product called TriFed. TriFed. Even now, recently, a thing called TriFood. TriFood is also created, especially to sell minor forest products. For the TriFood. Next, PESA. Do you know PESA? PESA, PESA, capital letter. You write in capital letter. What is PESA is? Panchayat Act extension to tribal area. It's a very famous act, 1996 act. Tribal area. Minimum MSP for forest product. Exactly. Forest product. Then even today, Ekalaiva scheme, am I right? Ekalavya or Ekalaiva scheme. So these are all other than constitution, that's a non-constitutional measure. Exact 2018 15 mark question. Yeah. What is the question is, discuss various measures taken by government for promoting tribal area. 7.5 mark. Another 7.5 mark is, elaborate any two non-constitutional measure. Exact. So you have to write what are all the tribal measures, constitutional and unconstitutional. One page is over. Next 1 page or 1.5 page, you have to explain any two what measure, non-constitutional measure. Okay, so we are on the line. What is being asked? That's why we are. That's alone we are discussing exactly on this. Okay, so come out of the table. Come out of the table. This much of measures has been taken. Am I right? Since independence, but irrespective of that, still we do have what issues? Tribal issues. So out of the table you write, irrespective of these measures, still we do face tribal issues or challenge from tribal area. Tribal area. So how you can divide it? Listen, though tribes are just minority among Indian people, tribes are not more than 7%, 8%. Am I right? But in India, only one tribes is there? No, there are so many tribes. Am I right? So you see that there are so many tribes. That's why there are so many tribal issues. Okay, how you can split tribes and tribal issues is, normally tribes and tribal issues are broadly split into two. Tribes and tribal issues are broadly divided into two, split into two. One is tribes in northeast and tribes in rest of India. Am I right? One tribes in northeast, another is tribe in what? Rest of India. I have not divided. Even constitution divided. If you see that, tribal 6 is exclusively for northeast, some of the northeast. Schedule 5 is rest of India tribes. So no one tribe. Am I right? So no one tribal issues. If it is so, no one tribal solution. Have you understood? Yes, that's why I broadly split into two. Okay. Now what is the tribal issues in no? Why such a division is, in rest of India, you write under rest of India, they are minority in their own state. Am I right? They are minority in their own state. Where? Rest of India. But in northeast, they are majority. Okay, this is the first difference. Second difference is, in rest of India, note it down. In rest of India, their maximum demand. What is the maximum demand in rest of India is separate state. Am I right? So they are agitating, they are doing everything just for what? Separate state. Once a separate state is given, they are happy. So they are not at all demanding anything. The best separate statehood is Jharkhand movement. The best thing is Jharkhand movement. Do you know? Jharkhand is created in 2000, but the movement dates back to 1950. Keep it in mind. That's why I said new state shall be created based on socio-economic condition, but not immediately. 1950 the movement was created, but only in 2000 from Bihar. Bihar itself is a underdeveloped state. Am I right? Even you see that tribal area. So if you see Bihar, Bihar is like this. If you see Bihar, Bihar itself is like this. This is a unified Bihar. In the Bihar, this is the tribal area. Am I right? The unified Bihar is, this is the plain. This itself is local na. Underdeveloped mean, you just imagine the tribal area. I am that much of underdevelopment. That's why I'm asking. Go and visit other state. Then only Your state is how behind or how ahead. Otherwise, if you are simply here, you don't know anything of this. Understand? Some people, especially Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, always would say, waste here, Tamil Nadu. Because of this party, that party, alternative route, wasted. North, super. That people would have never crossed the Chittoor border. Am I right? They would have never crossed the Chittoor border, then they would say that. So if you go out, then only you would come to know how behind or ahead of your state. Understood? Yes. So Jharkhand, at last Jharkhand was created in 2000. It's the best. Not only Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh also movement. At last Chhattisgarh was created. Right? So maximum demand of the rest of India is what? Statehood. But if you come to Northeast, right, some are asking separate state, some are asking separate country. So two demands in Northeast. Am I right? Thus, our camera is moving towards what area? Northeast. The much neglected part or less viewed part of India. We are going there. So Northeast we are going to discuss. So draw the map of Northeast. Open the topic Northeast. And draw the rough map of Northeast in 1956. Draw it, then you. This is Sikkim. Up to this is West Bengal. Am I right? This is West Bengal. Remaining is in 1956. This is the 1956 map. Keep it in mind. (1956) map, because there is no other state. Entire thing is called what state? Assam. That's why in just a couple of 1 hour before we discussed. Am I right? So now listen. This Assam geographically split, divided into two regions. Write it. Assam is geographically divided. You draw first, draw, then you write. One is the plain. Plain due to what river? Brahmaputra. One is plain due to Brahmaputra river. So this is the plain area. Remaining thing is hill region, complete hill region. Entire thing is the hill region. Am I right? So you under that you write plain and hill. I hope you have drawn. Yes. Online. You have drawn. Yes. Now come back. Yes. Come back. What is the things are in plain? So only one in the plain, non-tribal majority. Non-tribal majority of Assamese, Bengali, Hindi-speaking people. Hindi-speaking people. So here non-tribal majority. But the hill region, tribal majority of different ethnic group. Keep it in mind. Not one group. This is a one. Different ethnic. So listen. Today this area is Meghalaya. Am I right? Meghalaya. Couple of weeks I went there to take classes of Meghalaya. I studied only through theoretical. Couple of weeks before that and stayed there for a week. At the time only I realized that, okay, huge difference. If you go up, complete tribe. If you come to Guwahati airport, non-tribe. Different, entirely different. That's why I'm saying, attend it, study UPSC. Wherever you go, you would clear cut have you can enjoy. You will have a first hand experience. Okay, so different. Why I'm saying is even in Meghalaya, but Meghalaya it does not consist of only one people. Garo, do you know Garo, Gasi, Jaintia, likewise different tribal people. Even if you come to Nagaland, name is Nagaland, but not one tribe. Nagaland themselves consist of so many. So thus here two things. Am I right? So listen. Today Mizoram, Meghalaya is there. Once upon a time all are district. For example, Garo district, Gasi district, Mizo district, Naha district. So under the hill area, you write hill. All are tribal district or hill district. All are hill district. Okay. I am discussing not now. 1956. In the tribal district only, northeast tribal area, two demands. So again, you split into two. You split into two of the tribes. Some asking separate state. They says, no, we don't want to part of Assami speaking. We want a separate state. But some says, no, I don't want not only Assam. I don't want to part with India. Separate nation. How I divided. Am I right? So split. Study over. In that separate nation, under that you again split. Only two issues we are going to discuss. One is Naga issue. Another is the Mizo issue. They will discuss in the next week. Class is over. Any doubts? Kishore, TN is better to other state. Okay. Any doubts? Right. Thank you.